When looking for RC products on the web, check out rcdeal.com. This segment is sponsored by rcdeal.com.
Hello, DJ here from Offna. Come to show you a new buggy, an electric buggy, A-scale. It's an 80% roller. It's our LX2e. Our new A-scale, 80%, like I said, roller. Of course, we'll show you the details of this car and the fresh new box that we have on this, and we'll open this up. We'll show you the design of the car, the body, and what's on the car. So as we get in here, we're going to see, as you look in here, your body, car already in there ready to go. Of course, I've already put the wheels on it just to kind of make it a little bit easier, and some hardware on the side, and we'll get to the hardware in the wing right now. So we'll pull the buggy out, drop this in front. All right, there's your buggy. Of course, you got your high downforce nylon wing, and it's a white one. Of course, takes the beating. Love this wing a lot. A lot of people like this wing that comes with the car kit. Of course, it could fit on the Truggies and our Buggy series cars. And hardware itself. And in this hardware, of course, this is where your 80% comes in, where you're going to have to do some building and assembling. It's going to require you to build the battery tray, which is not too hard. Of course, the speed control plate, the ESC plate, is already manufactured on to the battery tray itself, and of course the servo hardware here, and the battery box, and the enclosed receiver area itself. So this is where your 80% stuff of assembling is going to be at with this car, and that's basically putting in the motor, putting in the battery, the speed control, and the receiver, and you're off and ready to go. No need to glue tires, no need to build shocks this time. So like I said, with this 80% roller, there's a lot of pluses in that. Of course, you won't get your fingers full of oil as you're trying to put down some double-sided tape on the car. Put down and look at the body itself. It is a clear body. Of course, it is your new style. It looks more like a Stingray type of body, nice and wide for your 4-cell batteries. You could possibly fit about a six cell in there if you needed to, if you're putting some high-powered stuff in there. Of course, it is a clear body. It also has a skin on it for itself, and you'll be able to cut out vents out if you want the car to be a little bit more cooling towards the speed control itself, and any other thing that you need to do that. So you can shoot this your own, get it painted by somebody else or so, and get that done. Alright, so with the car you're seeing here, of course the front of the car of the LX2 buggy has the biggest plus on this car versus the LX1. You're getting 16 mil shocks. You're getting them all the way around, of course, with the white super soft springs, and these shocks are fully assembled, hard-coated finished, aluminum collar adjustments, and when you adjust this collar, you won't get the boot snagged in, because once you're turning this, there's a lock at the very bottom of the cup that keeps that boot from getting twisted. So it is a race shock. It's been on our race series cars, of course, with the Jammin itself, and now it comes on the LX2, the nitro car, and the electric car here. So you're looking at that hard-coated finish and a hard-coated shock tower to go with the front of the car. Of course, the rest of the layout of the car is also hard-coded too, as you look down the middle of the car. And we'll show you that the top plate, the front plate, both front and rear shock towers, and the chassis itself are hard-coated pieces. So a nice finish to a good-looking buggy. It really stands out and makes the car look like a really stealthy-looking ride. Of course, there's front and rear composite chassis braces that run down the middle of this car, adds the sturdiness of the chassis. There's stone guards on each side of the car. Of course, that is something that a lot of people like, so they don't get dirt caught up underneath into the motor, and you can put a little Velcro strap on each side to keep it a little bit more airtight. Okay, so down the center of the car still, we'll get a better shot of that. Of course, you got your solid steel drivetrain running down the middle, and universals on the front of the car itself, along with the composite spur gear. Of course, that is quiet running operation for electric motors, and very strong in Mod 1 gearing. That is a 51 tooth composite spur gear, so it is oil filled also. Of course, all 3 differentials are oil filled, so you can adjust and tune to the conditions you want it to be. The car is also fully loaded with ball bearings, of course, and that keeps the drivetrain silky smooth, of course, and rolling free. The front of the suspension, again, we'll go back to the front suspension, of course, is a C-hub front suspension with the universal in the front, and also a sway bar. And the sway bars are also front and rear on the vehicle. Of course, you have plenty of turning ratio on this car that makes the car handle very, very well. And of course, hard-coated lock nuts, I should say. I'm in the wrong spot here. Let me turn that. Hard-coated lock nuts and hubs also, so they don't get scored up as you continue to take the wheels off and on and to continue to clean these tires and wheels. The tires themselves, of course, are the Triad tires that we offer as an aftermarket piece, and the super light, ultra light wheels. Those are also a white finish to match with the wing. So we look at the bottom of the chassis itself, and we're going to notice that the chassis itself is also a hard-coated countersunk chassis, so nothing gets caught up underneath. Of course, you want everything nice and silky smooth when you're out there on the track. You don't want anything to get snagged up. And of course, you see quite a few holes on here. Of course, those are the preset holes already set for your radio tray on this side of the car. We get to the rear of the suspension. Of course, it is all front and rear independent rear suspension, or actually all the way around independent suspension. Of course, the 16mm hard-coated shocks are also on the back with the white super soft springs, and of course your dust boots to keep anything out of the shock shafts themselves from getting bound up. Of course, everything on this car is very sturdily built. Also, the gearing itself is also hard-coated built, and your rear sway bar on the back. The other thing too that we had put on there recently that I had just noticed was, and I don't think we could get a very clear shot of it, is the new Servo Saver spring. It is a harder spring to help with the turning ability of the car versus the first generation Ultras, where they were just a tad softer. Now we've beefed up that spring itself and made it a lot stronger for the Servo Saver system. So that's what we have in the ULTRA LX2e, 80% roller. Of course, like I said, once you get it out of the kit itself, all it requires you to do is put the electronics, battery, and speed control in, and you're ready to go. That is your ULTRA LX2e buggy.
This show has been sponsored by rcdeal.com. So remember, rcdeal.com for your RC auction and web store needs. It's rcdeal.com.